Before this video begins, just remember that the 4-year anniversary shirt will be available until the end of August, so make sure to check it out now. But anyways, let's get into the video. Hey guys, Electro Ninja here. Oh, this video is gonna piss people off. Yeah. Today we're gonna be talking about how movies and manga have movies, manga, and all those things. How books go to movies or whatever, or whatever their new situation is. Now the problem is that I will agree that a lot of times the movies are not anywhere near the level of the books. Anime is a little bit different, and we'll get into that later. But for some reason, everyone's always like, "Oh, if it's a movie based off a book, the movie sucks." And, well, I'm here to say that that's not always the case. Now, obviously, yes, there are cases where this is absolutely the situation, such as Harry Potter. I will agree with you there. But for something like Eragon, the movie is like 1,000 times better. I'm sorry. I read all of the Eragon books, and they made me really pissed off with the story. So, yeah. The movie is better. Fight me. I know that the movie is very different, and that's just that sentence. The Eragon movie is better than the books is gonna piss everyone off. But that's my opinion. You can fight me over it in the comments if you really want to. But we're not talking about that. Instead, we're going to be talking specifically about manga and other things. The thing is that, well, yes, a lot of movies and shows suck compared to their original art form, specifically books, then a lot of people say, oh, it's because they're so different from the original. And I would agree to a certain extent. Several anime and manga have very different stories. Just as an example, in Blue Exorcist, he doesn't work at a frickin' he doesn't get a job and then get fired. He's trying to get a job and doesn't get hired. That's basically, or I think that's what it is. Or he gets fired from a job that he already had. It's not, oh, he got fired after the same day that he got the job because he saved the day. And yes, I can see where some people have that issue between the anime and the manga. But people get really pissy about things like Promised Neverland. Promised Neverland has a lot more details revealed to the audience pretty early on in the manga. In the anime, you learn things as the characters learn things. There's no, oh, yeah, you know that we find out in the thing is that in the book in the manga, we find out that Isabella is used to be a kid at one of these farms really early on in the manga, but in the shows we don't. On top of that, there's also several instances where they say, "Oh, yeah, you're the only one who can go because you're the only girl of the three of us. So you're the only one who can check the babies to see, oh, yeah, they have the implant." In the anime, it's kind of hinted at it, but they just glance over it. Kind of makes sense because they want to get through a lot of the story before they run out of episode time. They wanted to get the kids out of the place so that we could just be like, okay, here's this story. This is a good ending point if for some reason we can't continue the show. which luckily we can, so we're good. Um, that was the way that they did some things in the anime. But I would like to say that it's actually a good thing a lot of the things that they did for the anime are a lot better considering the fact that compared to the manga. We get a lot of more like I said, we learn things as the characters learn things. And that's something that a lot of authors understand. Some authors understand this and others don't. We can't always be 100% certain on how our stories are going to flow. A lot of us want to have a very specific storyline that goes in a very specific order. Boom, 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 boom. Continues in a straight line. No ifs, ands, or buts. But, and we think, oh, our book is out. Oh, well, cool. We're not going to worry about it anymore. But the way the anime and manga work, especially the modern ones, is that the authors often work side by side with the creators of the anime to make this story a lot better. They craft it, they make it better, they make it a good situation. If it's anime based off an older manga, then obviously there's some cases where yes, they cannot get the actual author to help them out with this. So they often will follow the manga to a T. Or if they don't, it pisses off a lot of fans. But the thing is that with a lot of the modern anime and a lot of modern manga, they are working with the authors. And it actually shows that these authors have thought a little bit more about their stories since they've written them. They realize, oh, yeah, this specific point doesn't make sense in this story. Oh, we're finding. In the manga, we find out that Isabella is actually used to be a kid here. Yeah, that's a pretty major point. We should avoid telling the students. We should avoid telling the watchers this. And yes, in the it's not completely clear, but it gives us a little bit less. It keeps us tense. Like, why is she doing this? What are her reasons? In the manga, since I've already seen the show, so I'm not as on the edge of my seat as I'm reading the manga. But considering the fact that I have seen the show and I'm reading the manga now, I can actually see, oh, yeah, this isn't as tense. If I was reading this for the first time and hadn't seen anything about this, I would have been like, oh, she used to be a kid here. Okay. Why is she a traitor? Why is she betraying these people? But in the anime, we get a lot of information pretty quick, right after each other. We don't necessarily find out that Isabella and Sister Crone are used to be kids here. We simply find out that they want to be that Sister Crone wants to become a mother. Basically, one of the kids' guardians, but she doesn't get that opportunity for reasons. And we find that out as the kids do. We find out that she's going to betray them and that she used to be a kid. And we find out in that same episode that we find out about the letters, about the numbers, that yes, she is a very important character and she's important to the story. And basically what it shows us is that girls are chosen when they get taken, and if they are good enough, they may be chosen to become trained to become a mom. And it shows, at least to the audience, that yes, these people used to be students, and the reason that they're helping the demons is because it's the only way that they can survive. It shows how selfish they are. But also that it also gives us an opportunity to realize, oh, maybe this is the actual reason why Isabella was actually here the entire time. Maybe this is the reason why she didn't call and tell them, oh, yeah, some of my kids found out. No, she's telling them what she's doing is she's actually, in the show, we have a hint saying that actually she didn't betray them. She's helping the kids to and training them to see, oh, yeah, we can escape. We can stop this. We can save the day. That's how the anime feels. But a lot of what the manga feels, because of the fact that we learn this, some of this stuff early on before the kids do, we don't feel the same way. We feel like, oh, she's a jerk. She doesn't care. She's extremely selfish, and she just wants her own life. There's no remorse at all because, like, she looks at her thing, but that's it. There's no remorse at all. But in the anime, there is, and it shows that the author is rethinking situations. Because here's the thing: many times as authors, we don't necessarily know right away. Do we want our stories to go in a very specific way? Some of us do. We know where we want our stories to go. So we work with that situation, and we end in the specific location that we want to be. A good example of this is Bendy and the Ink Machine. In Bendy, the creator realized, oh, yeah, people are seeing this character as being more important than he actually is. I need to change some things, and they worked back and fixed the situation through updates, and now people saw, oh, yeah, now it actually makes sense why this character is so much more important. So we have that information. And it's the same situation here, where authors often realize later down the line that they were like, oh, yeah, that's a mistake. I should go back, fix that. But the thing is that a lot of times we can't fix it because the story has been out there and people are fans of it. So we often just forget about it. We leave the story, we let people live with it, but then we change certain things when it goes to a different screen. So, for example, for me, yes, my story is kind of set in stone, but I will be going back with Sting's Adventures 1 later on to say, yes, the story is going the same way, but there's a few things that I want to change here and there to show characters developing better. Because I know that a lot of the characters that I have didn't develop as well as I wanted them to. For example, the death in Sting's, the one major death in Sting's Adventures 1, currently, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't feel as major. It's just like, oh, yeah, he killed someone to show how dire the situation is. That's how it feels to me. Like, I did that, but there's actually other reasons, but we're not getting into those right now. So basically, yeah, you have to look, as an author, no matter what you do, you have to look at your story with fresh eyes every now and again and just be like, oh, yeah, this needs to change. I can fix this. Even if the story gets released. Sometimes you just need to say, okay, I need to re-release this with a few changes to say that this is how the story went. I know that I made mistakes. Here's some corrections. Here you go. This is the actual canon version. I'm sorry for making you guys think that it was different. That's what we often do. But the way the anime works, we can actually do a similar situation where our story is written down in manga, but then we change, like I said, we change certain things when we're working with with the anime creators. So yeah. But anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this whole topic. Do you want to see more videos like this? Because I would like to do some more topics about writing and stuff. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. But also, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, because that helps me out a lot. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!